Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Shou Talks. Let me tell you something about this woman right here, because we have been talking about getting together on a podcast for way too long.
Yep.
For way too long, but we're doing it. We figured it out. I know we old, so it's like, oh, we're tired. But anyway,
Tired, child.
we are. And if those of you who know her, you already realize who it is by her voice, because she has a very distinct you do. She has a very distinct voice. You're more than just my hairdresser. Like, we've been friends.
Family.
Family. Yeah, family. Friend family. Yeah. We started as friends, technically
St. Matthew's family.
Yeah. Decades. We have been in each other's lives for decades. And I think one of the best things about our relationship is when just in general, we just can talk about anything, and conversations will go on and and time will fly, which is why we always said that we just need to do a podcast. And life gets busy, but we found time. I have a feeling that you are going to be a reoccurring co-host on Shou Talks. And so today we want to talk about what's the latest in the news in the world of, what is it? Social media.
Social media, football, entertainment.
I saw a quote that said, "I love you enough to leave." And then we started talking about Giselle and Tom Brady, and they were like, "Oh, you know what? We should name it I Love Me Enough to Leave."
Amen.
So, matter of fact, I'm super rude. Never even gave your name. Never even gave your introduction.
You don't have a name.
You're Ms. No Name. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you rock your introduction. I'm gonna just go ahead and hand the mic over to you like this. Whoop, pussy. I'm gonna hand the mic over to you. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm the one and only Iris Richards. No, seriously, how many Irises do people really know? Come on. My name is Iris Richards, and I'm finally a guest on the podcast. So welcome me, and welcome she and everybody else.
You know what? You don't even need to say anything else.
As serious as I can, guys.
Why?
Wish me luck.
No,
No?
We are not serious. No, not at all. Listen, this is gonna end up. Matter of fact, this audience is pretty much getting a glimpse to how just how it is when we're together. Like, it is just an everyday conversation, and just no, we don't do serious. But anyway, so talking about loving yourself enough to leave. And okay, so let's take it in the perspective of Tom Brady and Giselle. And for those of you who don't know, and I could be wrong because I try to do research, and life just takes over.
I didn't.
I didn't do research either. So we're just gonna talk about what we think we heard, and then just our perspective on it.
Exactly.
That's how we're gonna rock out. But
that's literally what I've been doing.
They're getting a divorce, right? And so what I heard was that somebody posted where he was at home for 45 days straight with his wife and kids, and ended up doing an interview where he said he was not happy at all while being at home those days with his children, and that he was more happy playing football. And I think that's when he did his return.
So I just want to ask a question that other people may be thinking.
Yes.
So what you're saying is he don't want to be a daddy? He don't want to be a husband?
Yeah.
He just wants to be a football player?
Yeah. Yeah.
He has identity issues.
Where, if you, like I said, and just a disclaimer, although we name the topic something, we might go left, right, up, down, whatever. And it's funny because when you said that, the first thing that came to my mind is how easy it is for men, no shade, respectfully, whatever else disclaimer is said, how easy it is for men to just say, I don't want to do this anymore, and just be like, okay, we're done. Whereas women, it's like, nah, be your mom for life. Like,
Right.
F what you thought.
Unless you're one of those mothers, but that's rare.
And that's another topic for a different, that's another topic we're gonna have to go into. But it's like, for him to just say he has more fun playing football and then decide he's just gonna go back after retiring, not taking
Right.
into account
Mad selfish.
that your wife put her entire life on hold, on pause to support you. And everybody, you know, people are coming after her as opposed to
Right.
correcting him.
Right. Because we're living in, especially when it comes to the sports, we're living in a man's world, right? So I feel like poor Giselle, as a woman, right? We're sitting here, we age a little differently than men. That's one. She's in an industry where her looks is her money. She's a model, right? So for him, it's like, yeah, I want to be a football. I'm pretty sure they had this conversation. Like, let's sit down. Tom, you're going to be doing this until retirement. And after you retire, I'm going to go back into the world and and finish up my modeling career. Because that's what I had when I met you. Fine. And he's like, yeah, that's like what, 50 years from now? Awesome. That sounds great. And then 50 years came and he was like, sis, you want me to do that right now? But the kids are asking for food, like, and they're talking. The kids are talking.
I gotta interact with my children without you.
For 45 days, I got stressed out. 45 days made you. What about parents that had to sit home with their kids during COVID?
Oh, COVID.
But I'm not even gonna, because that is another topic, girl. So let me leave that alone. But let me go back to my girl, Giselle.
Yeah.
So she sacrificed her career for a little bit to be a mom. This man came back and said, and a wife, yes, because in order for her to be a good mom and wife, she had to be good mom and wife. Like, you can't be in a family, you can't be a good mom by not being a good wife.
Yep.
Right. And you can't be a good wife in return and not be a good mom. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
So you have to spread yourself everywhere. Mad caps she has to put on, but we're not going to get into that either. So she did that. And then Tom was like, this is boring. And she probably looked at him like, excuse me, sir, what? Yeah, I know it's boring. I had to do this for you.
Every day. Ain't they kids like 7 or 8 years old? Every day.
And you know how kids are. You know how kids are. Mommy. Hello, go call your father. Mommy.
Where's your daddy? Where's your daddy?
Oh, he's tired. He's tired.
Oh, he just played the Super Bowl.
That's
so then
nice.
Because was it a TV show I used to watch? Yes, it was.
What's that?
Not Basketball Wives. Was it Platinum Lives? It was one of them shows because I love them shows.
I don't know nothing about what you're talking about.
It was all football girlfriends or wives that were on the show. And granted, yeah, a lot of them didn't necessarily have jobs, but being a football wife or being a football girlfriend or whatever it is, that is a job in and of itself. Like, you literally have to be his number one cheerleader. You got to make friends with all the other wives, and even them, some of them heifers be heifers. And all the while for you to just, and we talked about this before too, lose yourself in your role.
Like, lose because yourself. Now you're not even Giselle.
No.
Now you're
Tom Brady's wife.
Football wife. Exactly. Like, listen, I'm Giselle. I'm this big time model. And now I'm the shadow to my husband. What?
Like, she wasn't, what's the old school? She ain't no Cosmopolitan model. She was it Victoria's Secret? Vogue?
Victoria's Secret, yeah.
Victoria's Secret, like one of the originals.
I put an X at the end of Secrets, my bad, but go ahead.
It's not Secrets? I always say S.
I'm gonna look it up, but you go ahead, girl.
Nah, we gotta leave it. We gotta leave it. Let's not even find out. Let's not even ruin it.
That's a different topic again.
That is, but it's like, if you look at this, okay, so we're looking at it from a celebrity perspective, but imagine how many regular people go through this in relationships. How many women, and you know what? I'll play devil's advocate and say there may be a rare percentage of men who have to deal with wives who they don't want to be a mom. So men have to pick up the slack,
or I've seen it.
Yeah. Or they were young moms and they get to the point where, well, my kids are old enough now, well, I'm gonna just wild out. And your husband's like,
Right.
nah, B, that's not for us anymore. Like we need
Right.
to
I'm trying to
chill
go
out.
back to school. What are you doing?
It's like,
And
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it's so crazy because, and we talked about this also. Why did you hear? People need to realize there's a difference between sacrificing when you're in a
Mm,
relationship
mm,
and compromising when you're in a
mm-hmm.
relationship. I think what Giselle may have done, and a lot of us women do in a relationship, is sacrifice, thinking that we're compromising.
Yeah.
Now, I watched this podcast called The Love Hour, and they broke it down and it made
Yeah.
sense. Like when you're compromising, two people should feel like they're losing something.
Yeah.
Like we should both be like, damn, I didn't get everything I wanted, but I still got this.
Yeah.
And I think what we do a lot of times, and I'll say this for both sexes, what we do all the time is say, oh, if I do this now, the reward at the end will be what I asked them for. And then when
Yeah.
the reward doesn't come, you realize the whole time you were sacrificing and
You
not
played yourself.
compromising.
You played
Yeah.
yourself. You realize you
But you
played
thought
yourself.
that's what you're supposed to do because
Right.
this is us.
Right.
We're partners,
You
you
love
know?
me. You love me. See,
You said you do it. What
my
do we need to
default
have these people
is
signing contracts when you're in the marriage? Like, bro, sign your name and get it
I
notarized.
please and thank you. Make it official. Well, I know my flaw, and not even just on a relationship perspective, just in life, is I do sacrifice. I sacrifice a lot for everybody.
Mhm.
Not with the expectation. Oh no, I guess technically there is an expectation, but I'm not going to force it on you. I just always expect that
Right.
you're going to do for me, you're going to treat me how I treat you. So if
Right.
you see me
Reciprocated.
going, yeah, if you see me going above and beyond, granted, you may not be able to do that right now, but eventually, like you said, you'll
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice now in the hopes that later on, okay, this person's going to have my back. They're going to do it for me when I need them to do it. And
Yep.
I think in the instance of Giselle and Tom Brady, she got played. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Nabi, you need to run me my time. You need to run me
Right.
back like that money, because at the end of the day,
The
like you mentioned
wrinkles
in
are
the front,
coming. The wrinkles are coming. Not enough makeup could cover that all the time.
because she's stressed out too. So now she got to go
Mm.
through. Because did she file first? No, I think they filed at the same time. Oh, they ain't telling us.
So I think with that, I think even if they filed at the same time and they agreed at the same time, I think she already was done. And
Yeah.
I say that because when I read each one of them's statement, their statements, Tom Brady's statement was very political. Like, oh,
Mm,
you know, me and my wife Giselle have, or me and my wife have come to terms with this, that, and the other. And it was, we both agreed and blah, 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 blah. But when she said it, she was like, so Tom and I are divorced. Husband, my ass. Okay. She said, that boy, Tom, yeah, he's over there and I'm over here.
y'all
And
homie, y'all
Tom
homie
was
over
like, wait,
there.
Tom was like, my wife.
Oh, it's not
Because
we
I'm trying to keep this
anymore.
professional.
No. So she's 42.
Ooh.
Not too bad.
And 42 as a model is like 98 years old.
That's too. How old is Tom Brady? Tom Brady is 45.
Oh,
Bro,
damn. He's up there too.
it's time for you to let go of football. Isn't like the retirement age for football 30?
I hope so,
At
because
least
those bones are
at least
cracking.
40. Like by 40, they can't take no more hits.
They
They can't
shouldn't. Where's
take
his
none.
doctor? Where's his doctor is what I need to know.
Being paid off somewhere.
Okay.
But even if
Tom, we're just joking. Don't come after us in this
you
damn
can come
podcast.
after me if you want to. It's the truth. You done had your wife sit here, sacrifice everything for you, and all of a sudden now you're talking about you happier playing football and being with your family. Then why did you get married?
He didn't get married. He had a maid. You know, I feel like a lot of people in these industries too, they like the image of, that American dream. You have your wife, you have your kids, you have your dog, you have your picket fence.
Mm-hmm.
And then low key, you're never home. I don't see you. Like, sir, who are you? I see you more on TV with the other people than I see you in the house.
Right.
That don't make sense.
Right. Like at that point, are you really my husband? Are you really a father?
Or are you just my business partner? Say that. Let's just call it that.
It's like Tamia, there's a stranger in my house. I'm just saying, I don't have copyright, so I can't go no further than that. But
yeah, you about to get us all in trouble, but go ahead.
But even if you look at, well, I mean, we'll never find out what happened between Tia and her husband.
Yeah, I can't talk anything about that because I have no idea. I just found out who he
No one
was
does.
the other day.
Really?
I just saw him in a movie and I was like, oh, shoot.
But it was probably wasn't it like a D-list movie? Sorry, no disrespect. But he's not a big, no, he's more of a behind the scenes type of dude. But
like he has like 2 lines. Yep.
But even if you take back to what you said, looking at the statements, so we're going to take it back to statements. If you, from a woman's mind, because at the end of the day, we're women before anything at all. When you read the statements, you can kind of piece together whose fault it is. For instance, reading Giselle's one, she said, Tom and I are getting divorced. You already know that, okay, she done with him. He done pissed her off. Same thing with Tia.
She disconnected a long time ago.
She's done. We're not an item. We're not a team. If you look at Tia and Corey's message, you know, Tia's out here. It is Tia. Tia out here going crazy on Instagram, posting all these videos, and he's like real quiet. But then he posted something about, I think it was making an emotional decision on something. I was like, you cheated. Like anytime.
Who's your PR team, sir?
You probably get the same PR team. He had the same PR team as Tom Brady. That's why nobody's coming after him.
For sure.
In all, to bring it back to reality, I guess when you're looking at relationships, I think it's hard to not lose yourself. And that's why when I saw that quote that said, I love me enough to leave, that definitely generated from someone with years under their belt. Because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you get into a relationship, that first, I'll be generous and say that first year.
The honeymoon stage.
The honeymoon stage.
You're like, no, you go first. No, you go first. But no, baby, you go first. Yeah, that's that year right there. Yep.
You don't lose all your friends because your friends don't hear from you. You got this person connected to you at the waist. Like y'all want to go, y'all, because in that moment, it's the both of y'all that want to spend that much time together.
The first year is the first time you realize you're a team, and then it just starts getting interesting after that.
It does, because you either continue to grow as a team or you start to lose yourself and start becoming not even the other person. You just start becoming a segue or an assist. You become an assist. Oh no, what do they call it? Wait, basketball terms.
Don't do it. Not over here with me. Because I'll tell you goal soccer. Like, I don't know.
Not rebound, whatever the person is that is like this, like the Shaquille O'Neal to Kobe. You start becoming that shadow. I guess you become their shadow. No, it's not shadow.
Shadow's not a basketball term, child.
No, you start becoming their assist.
Yeah.
Alley-oop. Sitting here, all you're doing all day is just throwing alley-oops, whatever, all day long, making sure your person is good in the hopes that eventually this person is going to be like, baby, you did enough. I got you. It's my turn.
I was shooting in the gym.
You was with me when I was shooting in the gym. Matter of fact, now it's I'm gonna buy you a new gym, and now it's time for you to shoot.
And your sneakers.
You're gonna get every ball, every color, whatever you want, a whole jersey.
That's it.
Maybe like 8. I'll be nice and say 8 out of 10 times that doesn't happen.
Right.
And it becomes the norm, and then you get stuck in this routine because the minute you start to snap out of it and you start to going, whoa, I'm putting out 75% and you chilling at 25%. Now, I'm going to speak on the woman's side because clearly this is what I was born with and this is what I've experienced. And this isn't in no relation to my current relation. I don't need nobody hitting up Renard to be like, oh, what you doing? And in general, you lose yourself. And then the minute you start to try to pull yourself back, your now partner starts to go, whoa.
You're bugging.
Why? Like, for instance, even in Sex and the City, I think it was the first movie where Samantha is dating that supermodel dude. And she was a PR person Did you
Mm-hmm.
see the first one?
I saw
Wait,
all of
did
them.
you
I'm
watch
trying to.
that? Because
Oh,
I love me some Sex in the City.
I'm a Sex in the City
Child, that
fan.
might have to be another podcast episode because they had some topics. But no, okay,
Mm,
so it was in the first movie. It's a scene where he was talking about like I think he had like a gig or something like that, and she
mm-hmm,
pretty much mentions like, oh, well, she started missing, being in New York and being around Carrie and the rest of the girls. And
mm-hmm,
she was like, oh, I feel like I'm losing myself and
mm,
everything is about you. And then he mentions, well, that's because the first 5 years, everything was about you. And then she
mm,
goes, I know, I miss those days. And
mm.
of course, when you're watching a movie, you're like, oh, ha, 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 that's funny. But then when you sit back and you think about it,
Yeah.
that's like, it's actually a toxic ass thing to say. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about, oh, I missed when it was all about me. No, it got
Right.
to be
Mad
about us. Right.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have in their relationships because it becomes one-sided very fast.
Yeah.
And when it becomes
Because
one, yeah,
people are sacrificing and not compromising. Like everything can't be, it should never, I don't think it should ever be, let me sit this out while you go figure out your career. And you see that on TV shows all the time, right? Or
the time.
sometimes you might even hear it like, oh, I put her through college. Wait, what's the movie with blowing up the car? What is it? Waiting to Exhale.
Mm-hmm.
That song
Mm-hmm.
alone, this Mary J. Blige's song, like you sat there, you helped him get into his career. He was a lawyer, I think. And then he
Yeah.
leaves you. And there's a lot of movies like that. Cause even
All of it.
Acrimony. Look at
Well, I
Acrimony,
didn't
like,
even see that one, but another Tyler Perry was Why Did I Get Married?
yep.
Why Did I Get Married? And then you have um oh my God, it just went through my head
He
right
was trying
now.
to tell us something and we was not even
Diary
listening.
of a Mad Black Woman.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And yeah, we
she
got
ain't had nothing. She ain't
yeah,
had
but
nothing.
she didn't have nothing because she was busy doing
Oh,
everything
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
him.
That's true. That's true.
And that's
She
it's
sacrificed everything. Yep.
and with all and like you're saying, like with all these scripts, they got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
The idea didn't just pop into Tyler Perry's head like it was just a brand new concept. No, this is what
Mm-hmm.
happens. And yet we don't learn our lessons because
Because
we
we're looking
still
at it
do
as
it.
entertainment instead of a lesson. Like we're watching it like, oh, that's funny. Ha ha, she's mad, angry. Oh, there's a love story at the end. Not realizing like, did you guys, there's a lot of toxic shows out there that are indirectly toxic that if you don't pay attention, it just goes over your head.
Is that a
But
topic that I gotta go write down right now? Go ahead, keep talking. I'm just writing that down.
you should write it down. Don't ask. Just type it up. Just start typing, girl. But I feel like there's a lot of messages in there. And if you're not mentally ready to pick up the message at that moment, especially
Mm-hmm.
like when imagine when you're a kid, right? And you're listening to these 112, Drew Hill, and you're singing all this peaches
Child.
and cream, and you're like, peaches and cream. Like, you don't know what the hell peaches and cream is because you're like 10.
Nope.
But
Nope.
then we get older and we listen to the songs and we're like, hold up.
Ch-
We were singing about that when we was in 8th grade.
Too close. Too
Hello?
close.
Baby, you're excited. Excited
Right.
about what? What was we excited about? We was reading freaking bandstand beers,
Birds
whatever
to
the
be.
stupid thing.
The other day I was listening to throwback R&B and Jodeci's, what was it? Come and Talk to Me. Whatever song it was that has a woman moaning at the end.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm sitting at work at my desk, got my headphones. The moaning came on and I got so uncomfortable. Mind you, I got headphones on. Can't nobody hear this but me. But I just got so uncomfortable. And I'm just like, this song,
It's very inappropriate.
I used to rock out to this song at 7 years old. But without my parents knowing, because I was super sheltered and I couldn't even listen to Salt and Pepper's Let's Talk About Sex. Like, just in case anybody wants to know how sheltered I was, that song was not allowed in my household. When you look at, I think a lot of people, a lot of bad traits that we have is we'll see all of this toxicity on TV and think, that ain't gonna happen to me because I got a plan. I'll never let that happen to me because I'm gonna see it and I'm gonna shut it down. And then 10 years down the line or whatever, you're like, oh, that
Or
didn't happen to me.
how about the opposite effect is we see it and we normalize it by accident. Like we normalize it because it's like, oh, we see that in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, she sacrificed and had the douchebag husband and he left her. But look at karma. Look at God. And now she got her man. But sis, you didn't have to go through the karma and looking at God. Just don't do it in the beginning. But we normalize it.
Yeah.
The red flags were waving like carnival, okay?
Yeah.
To the left.
And it's to the point that people...
Oh, sorry. I was dancing.
People sit here and like you said, with the normalizing, they see these concepts and then they're like, no, you have to go through this because it's going to teach you, it's going to give you strength, it's going to make your skin thicker, and it's like, character. No, because you don't know how my mind is going to react to this. And the next thing you know, and even if you take Diary of a Mad Black Woman as an example, look at the crap that she put. What the hell is that man's name? Shamar Moore.
Oh yeah, with his braids.
Look at what she... First of all, wasn't that a lace front? We'll talk about that another day. That had to have been a lace front.
That was before the lace fronts came out, child.
But look at what she put him through because she was so broken and damaged and dragged through. Well, he out here trying to be like, yo, sis, I'm trying to love you for how you want. Why do you want to be with me? Like,
yeah,
that alone right there just shows us like, oh, maybe this isn't how we should be going about this situation. Maybe I should do better in this next round instead of no, because you're going to do to me just what this one did too. And it's like, nah, sis, I'm just trying to love you the way you're supposed to be loved.
Right. Or after the brokenness, we're waiting for that hero to come and save us because that's what we watched in movies all these years.
Not realizing we the heroes. We got to be our own heroes.
Yeah, we got to heal ourselves in order for us to accept it. And that's probably what Giselle did. While she was going through her stress, I'm pretty sure she went through some depression. I'm pretty sure she went through a lot of different emotions. While she was going through that, she was healing indirectly. Yeah. Because in order to go through all that and just finally say, you know what, I'm not doing this with you, here's your ultimatum, you had to have healed something slightly. So for her to finally reach that point and say, I'm done, you're Tom and I'm Giselle, not you're my husband and I'm your ex-wife, we're not doing that. She separated it because she's healed. Yeah. Yeah. Tom is now going to be going through his healing process where that's why he's still calling her his wife, because there's some guilt there. Yeah. He has his guilty conscience is like, Tom, we kind of fucked up. Oh, can I swear?
Go ahead. I did.
Oh, Tom, now I feel guilty. Tom, we kind of messed up. And he's like, but wait, I'm Tom Brady.
She'll come back or I'll get somebody else.
Like sis, you're Tom Brady, yes. But your identity in the world and who the people see you as is one thing. But who you are internally and what your heart is feeling, while you lose your family, is going to be a whole different thing. Oh. So you can show this Tom Brady who's good on the thing, but you better hope you don't fall into depression.
Because you know what, another thing, as you're talking, I'm thinking about it, him saying he was happier playing football, he's going to go back to football. What does Giselle have to fall back on? Granted, it says that she's an activist too, but like you said, sis, listen, that's what Wikipedia said. I don't know how much I can trust it. You know what? Probably. She looked like a PETA type of person. PETA type of person. That should be a tongue twister. But like you said, but they're both in industries where there's a cutoff. Exactly. There's a cutoff. Like, I'm sorry, you cannot play football forever unless you plan. And God, I don't wish this on nobody, but unless you plan on dying on the field, like it's time for you to even with basketball, like you got all these dudes by now. Like Tom should have had. I mean, he probably does have billions of investments, but there got to be something else you can do that allows you to grow with your family. Like when you look at people like Tom Brady, it's like, I mean, granted, they probably know your dad. But are you really dad?
You're just a title.
Are you just a sperm donor?
Right. Because like I said, like she probably seen Tom on TV more than she saw him in person, because by the time you come home, how much of your energy can you actually give me? Right. How much time can you actually give me? How much support with these kids can you actually give me other than financial support? So it's like, did you let your ego take precedent over being a father? Like that title of being this major football player, people are not going to forget your name, but you trying to tell me your title as a football player held more weight than your title as a father.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you were probably, I don't even think it's he has fun on the field necessarily. I think part of it might have been like, I'm going to lose my identity as Tom Brady as a football player.
If I don't find something else to do. And disclaimer, y'all, we are absolutely aware of the fact that Giselle is probably at home with 8 nannies and probably doesn't have to cook or anything like that. We get it. She probably gets the help, but the point is presence. She's present
Right.
with her children. She might not be the one bathing them or, cooking their food or feeding them. Right. But I promise you, if you go through Giselle's Instagram and you go through Tom's Instagram, you're going to see more pictures of her with her kids than him with his kids.
And not even just about being a mom, because she was a mom by choice. She decided to have those kids with Tom. But like I just said, she decided to have those kids with Tom. She didn't go through IVF. She didn't have those kids in a lab somewhere. Like, she didn't say, oh, I'm going to be a single mom. This is my decision. They both decided to have these children. And at some point, it's not just about being a mom. It's about being a wife too. So when am I your wife?
You're taking that from me. You're not even allowing me to be that for you.
When are we having date night? When are we going to do normal stuff? Like, yeah, I might be a supermodel, but when do we have normalcy in this house? When do we have shared responsibilities in this house? Like, when do you tell the nanny, it's okay, I'm going to take care of the kids this time? It's me.
Yeah,
but we ain't going to talk about that. Anybody going to come cuss me out?
They're already going to cuss us out because they're going to be like, these girls over here debating and defending Giselle, knowing she got 12 nannies and she's still home with her kids.
Like bashing.
I mean, anytime you don't say something somebody want to hear and you're considered bashing or talking trash. Right. But in all honesty, like, I think it is very important. And I guess maybe we'll wrap it here with takeaways. It is very important to make sure that you establish your identity and you keep it. And I know that even though, I did lose myself at one point. And that's why in my boundaries episode, first episode of the season, I mentioned to Renard that I was thankful for him because I was always trying to be like, oh, let's go together to the club. And he's like, no, I don't like the club. Go hang out with your friends and tell me about it later. Like, he was always doing that. And I think because of that, it allowed me to maintain my identity. And then you also gotta, and then you also gotta look at the cultural aspect of it. I mean, granted, Giselle's from Brazil, and I don't really know much about their culture, but I could speak on the West Indians. Like, I was raised to stop whatever I'm doing to be, to do whatever my partner wants, to be whatever my partner wants, to give him everything he wants. Be that support
for your partner.
My sole purpose in life is to serve him. And it's like, nah, B, like, that's not how it goes. Like, even Beyonce put it in her song Flawless, where she was like, women are raised to think marriage is the goal, to prepare ourselves to be everything for a man. I think a lot of people will have different viewpoints when we look at, people losing themselves, because you have the people with the old school mentality where it's like, no, your goal in life is to be somebody's wife, give him kids, take care of the kids, and that's all you need to do. And once you do that, your life is successful. He's the provider,
and that's it.
And he's the provider. And half the
time,
you
don't need to bring the child to the doctors. He don't need to go to no damn school meetings. He don't need to do none of that. He just needs to provide.
And half the time, these men don't even provide because some of the women out here making more money than their men.
Hi, how are you?
like you don't necessarily, and I think people mistaken that concept of being the provider as, oh, you always have to bring the money in. No, you can provide in multiple ways.
You can provide emotionally, you can provide financially,
you can provide be present,
presently, physically.
Just be there.
Yeah.
Be there when you see me falling down a rabbit hole, to be like, baby, you about to do that thing. I'm gonna pull you out. You're gonna fight me though, but I'm gonna pull you out because I know what I'm gonna have to deal with if you fall down that hole. Exactly. And I don't think Giselle was getting that from Tom, because like you said, like, you either playing a game or in training camp. By the time you get home, you don't want to, I work a regular 9 to 5. By the time I get
Mm-hmm.
home, put this child to sleep. Like, we lucky I have this much energy to be on this podcast right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because
because we didn't make it yesterday.
so,
We both, it was like, child, I'm tired.
it wasn't even 8 o'clock, and you're like, sis, my eyes is getting heavy. And I
My
was like,
eyes were burning.
I said, Jesus, thank you, because I'm tired too. And I was going to figure out how to make it through this episode. But, you know, in moments like that, it's like, where's your partner?
Mm-hmm.
What is your partner doing to help you be better?
Right.
Why do I got to keep extending? Like, why I got to keep lifting you up? I'm tired. Like Yvonne said, I'm tired of being strong. I don't,
Hello. Can I be weak?
can I be
Can I be
weak?
soft? Can I, please? I
Please and
think
thank
another
you.
problem, and I don't know, you might have to be continue this episode because
We are.
I'm about to drop something hot right
Go.
now. Okay.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Are y'all ready? You ready? Because I mean, it's just
I'm,
you right now, but I'm pretty sure people like, yeah, in the background. We need an audience. But anyway, next time. So,
I'm going to get a sound machine.
it's like a joke. So I think that especially women, the problem is we set a tone for our relationship in the beginning of our relationship that we don't realize 5 years from now, that tone's going to change. So if I want you to see what type of wife I am right now, and I'm not your wife yet, I'm just your girlfriend, and I'm over here cooking, cleaning, doing your laundry, because it's cute, right? In the beginning, it's cute.
Because I got to show you what you gonna get.
This is what you want, right? Like, that's what you're saying. But then let's say 5, 7 years down the line, y'all are married and your careers change. Maybe you are a CEO versus a secretary that you were 5, 7 years ago. Or let's say you have kids now that you didn't have before. Let's say you have 3. How about that? Because people be quick, not me, but people. Okay.
I'm trying to get 4, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that later.
We're going to talk to you in 7 years and see what's up. But so this is what happens. They start this like cute idea of, oh, this is what I'm going to give you. The man is comfortable, like, word, this is what I got. Then 5, 7 years down the line comes and that woman is tired because guess what? It was cute to do your laundry and cook and clean when it was just me and you. But now I'm working later hours. Now these kids is here and I'm pregnant. Now our responsibilities are changing and shifting, but we don't know how to communicate the change to each other enough for you to say, baby, I got your back now. You can relax. Because yeah, you showed me what it was to be a wife, but what did I show you it means to be a husband?
We have to start showing people or allowing them to see the steps that we take to be where we are. Because, and I think it's something, no, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as I can, but men, there is something in their programming where if they don't see something, it doesn't exist.
Unless they were taught and grew up with it, they might understand it better.
Even, to wrap it back to Giselle and Tom, and I'll throw a defense line to him. I don't think he saw or even imagine what it took to be a parent, what it took to be a husband. In his mind,
45 days came.
He just took it as, like you said, I'm providing for y'all. I'm Tom Brady. I'm out here winning Super Bowls. I'm out here making millions and billions of dollars. So you guys, you have a house. I'm providing a house. I'm providing like utilities. You have food in the refrigerator. You have everything you have because of me. I don't need to be there. And I think that's a misconception that a lot of, I'll say, dominant partners, because sometimes it could be the woman that does it. Because there are, now I think about it, there are some women in power who don't cook. There are some, and it's the man that cooks. So I think a lot of times whoever the dominant partner is can sometimes forget that just being there means so much more than you financially providing, you making sure lights and stuff are on. But I went on my own tangent. But anyway, I want to thank you for being on here with me. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you got a rebuttal for our concept, if you want to add to it, let me know. We'll be more than happy to bring you on. We'll find the time. We made time for today, so we'll make time for more.
Quick, fast.
Go ahead and drop your IG info. FYI, y'all, she got her own podcast. And she realized how much work that that bad boy is. It ain't no
Yes, I
joke.
should have just an audio, but anyway.
You got way too many hats on. You talking about Giselle got mad hats. You got mad hats, sis.
That's why I'm over here like, Giselle, I feel what you're saying, because my hat changes every 5 seconds. I don't even know which hat I'm wearing right now. Because for a second, I thought I was the host. Like, hold on.
That's why you're my co-host for tonight. But go ahead, drop your podcast information. Let them know where they can find you, all of that good stuff.
All right. So you can find my podcast on YouTube. It's called The Industrial, and that's REAL. So it talks about the real deal in the industry from industry professionals. You can find it also on Instagram at The Industrial. Again. Okay. And yeah, my other page is Fame, and it's Fame, guys. It's not Famey. A lot of people get confused. The problem is, listen, Chris Brown came out with that album, Forgive All My Enemies. And I was like, oh, that's dope. And I tried to use it, and mad people have the name on Instagram. So me trying to be creative, I put a Y, and people keep asking me who Famey is, and I'm stressed out. But you're not the first or the last. But my Instagram name is at Fame84. So that's at FAYM as in Michael, E84.
He's so professional. I think it's important, and I hope the takeaway that people get from this episode is when you step into a relationship, to not lose your identity. It's okay to mesh realistic. And be real.
Be realistic from the beginning. Don't get it confused about just being cute right now. Think about, if you want this person long term, what do we need to set up, and how is communication going to look like when we have to shift?
Because you shift a lot. You will shift every single day.